Ciao everyone, and welcome to day 2 of the World Cup final for the ISSF 2016 season in Rome. We're not exactly in Rome, we're just outside of it, 22 kilometers east in a little town called Lunghezza. And we're on day 2 of the World Cup final. We're just about to commence with the men's skeet event. We had 2 events yesterday, the double trap men and the women's skeet event. And I'm really pleased to say that my guest commentator for today is the gold medalist, yet another gold medal for this historic sportswoman from yesterday's skeet event. It's Kimberly Rohde of the USA. Kim, really, really good to see you today.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Congratulations on yet another gold medal yesterday. There's lots and lots to talk about your career. I don't think the distance of this final will cover it. But we'll talk to you in a little bit just after we have introduced the athletes on the range. The 6 semi-finalists are just about ready for the beginning of the final. My name is Shaq, by the way, and it's really nice to have your company today, as it has been throughout the whole season as well, in what has been a really important and great year for shooting sport. So the 6 athletes are lined up for the beginning of the semi-final. There will be 1 semi-final and 2 medal matches, and just on the right hand side you could see the officials as well, and they'll be introduced. We've also got seems like a school trip visiting the shooting range today, which is nice, so there'll be a nice bit of atmosphere in the crowd. Here we go then. The athletes are being introduced, and the first one is Ukraine's Mykola Milchev. The 48-year-old made the Olympic final this year, and that was the first time he did so since becoming the Olympic champion 16 years ago in Sydney.
At position number 2, representing India, he won his first ever World Cup medal this year at the
Mairaj Ahmed Khan from India. Well, he won silver at the ISSF test event in Rio earlier this year, and that was a first career medal in his 10 years of competing internationally.
At only 21 years old, he is the current World Cup final title holder. He is the current number 1.
Gabriele Rossetti, the home shooter for Italy. 2 years ago, at the age of 18, he became a junior world champion in Granada, and now, at 20 years old, he's the world number 1 and the current Olympic champion.
He took home his first ever World Cup medal this year in Baku, and he made it a gold.
Nikolai Teply of Russia, his gold in Baku this year was the 2nd time he ever made a semi-final. This is now his 3rd.
Representing the United States of America, he is the current world record holder, 2 times shooter of the year, 2 times Olympic champion, 3 times world champion. He has 5 World Cup finals.
One of the most recognizable men in our sport. Vincent Hancock of the USA, a glittering CV. He qualified first today and is looking to end the season strongly after missing out on a historic 3rd Olympic title this summer.
World Cup final silver medalist 2 years ago. He took his first ever World Cup silver medal in Baku this year, and he is the 2 times African champion. Azmi
Mahelba, the Egyptian, really nice, friendly guy, great shooter. He returns to the World Cup final after winning silver at the season closer 2 years ago. And that was at Gabala, Azerbaijan.
And the referee for today's finals is Roberto Forti from Italy.
Roberto Forti of Italy is the referee for this final. So we're just about to get underway with the semi-final then. There'll be 16 targets hit by each shooter, and Skeet is a unique event where the athletes line up on 1 station at a time, one behind the other. There'll be 1 semi-final and 2 medal matches. So Kim, how was it for you yesterday? You won your 2nd World Cup final gold medal, and how did you find that semi-final?
Well, I tell you, there was a lot of experience out there on the line. A lot of the women had been there many times before, so it was quite exciting, very thrilling to be out there and to be competing against them. It brought a lot, and I think you saw the best of us kind of come out.
Yeah, that was a really experienced lineup on the range. And, you know, despite winning 8 World Cup gold medals, that was only your second at the season closer. So does it have a little bit of a different feel, the World Cup finals?
Well, you know, the World Cup finals are kind of like the creme de la creme. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody who has won is here. So a lot of talent and just an incredible group of people. And you can see we're off to a start here with a crushing 2 pair right there, or 2 birds, and now on to the reverse pair.
It's Milchev, the Ukrainian, who gets the semi-final underway. A little bit of a delay before he shoots his second pair.
That reverse pair that you see there is probably one of the more difficult pairs for us going into this, because we don't shoot them in the everyday match. We only shoot them in the shoot-offs, and so, you know, we're kind of coming off of them cold, essentially, from the competition. So for us, you're going to see, you know, people kind of struggle on those reverse pair throughout this final.
So if they're not something that you regularly shoot, how do you prepare for them? How do you train for them?
Well, we do a lot of training and a lot of repetition in practice back home, but you have to realize that over the last, you know, couple days that we're here, we don't get to shoot very many of them. So the whole day that we've shot, we haven't shot one. So we're essentially walking out to this final cold on that pair, and that's why you see a lot of the people when they're test firing, practicing that direction or practicing shooting that target. A little problem going on here.
There is, yeah. Maharaj Ahmed Khan of India hasn't shot any targets just yet. Seems to be a little bit of bother.
And this is very difficult for a shooter to actually have to start over again, reset their mental, reset their, you know, composure, and kind of pull it all together to be successful at hitting this target. Obviously, no problem with that.
Yeah, Khan has hit 2 out of 2 so far. And just like Milchev of Ukraine, he also misses that 4th and final target on that station. It's Rossetti next, the current Olympic champion. As you can imagine, he's got a lot of support here today from an enthusiastic crowd.
Right now, we couldn't ask for better conditions. You know, the targets are really popping off the background, and I'm sure these shooters are out there thinking very much the same.
Well, that's the 3rd in a row. All of the shooters so far have missed their 4th target on the first station. So all of them are finding that reverse pair difficult.
It tends to be the case. That reverse pair is not something that we'd really shot before. That's fairly new to our sport, and something that, you know, we only do in shoot-offs.
Yeah. Will Teplev of Russia follow the same pattern, or will he take the lead and hit them both cleanly? He does hit them cleanly, so he takes an early lead after the first station. Here's your teammate Kim, Vincent Hancock.
One thing I can say with me and Vinny is we were actually practicing our doubles in the little time that we did have prior to this competition, so he should feel very comfortable with this pair, having shot it many times in this practice leading up to this match.
And for the benefit of viewers, Vincent Hancock was my guest commentator for your event, Kim, yesterday. You can watch that back on the ISSF YouTube channel, and Vincent did emphasize the importance of training with Kim, and we just saw that he missed both targets in the reverse pair, so he's now trailing with a score of 2.
I have to say that that's quite shocking for Vinny.
It is actually a surprise to see him trail at this early stage, missing 2 in a row for sure. Qualified first today with a score of 1-2-1. Azmi Mahelba, he is in joint first place now after hitting those. There seemed like almost that he was quite slow to hit his last target, but he did hit it cleanly, and he's now on 4 points with Tepli of Russia. Early stage though, there are 3 more stations to go. Kim, just touching on the conditions, you said these are perfect conditions to shoot. Today, at the moment, it's about 12 degrees. There was pretty heavy rain earlier. So we were just talking about the weather conditions. Kim, you just mentioned that these are perfect conditions for the targets. It's about 12 degrees at the moment. The rain has stopped now. It was pretty heavy earlier, but yesterday during your final, it was about 6 degrees warmer and a really pleasant sun, beautiful blue skies, and Vincent also mentioned they were perfect conditions. So,
well, you know, one of the things that we look at is, you know, are the targets dancing around? Are they moving? These targets are staying put. They're very visible off the background, even though it's kind of a little bit overcast. I mean, those are the most important things to us. And we definitely have this calmness. The targets are looking very bright, and, you know, they're not moving around a lot, which is great, or more ideal for the shotgun shooters. I'm sure they would hope that it would be a little bit warmer. But with that being said, I think they'll take it.
Yeah. And when it is a little bit colder like this, I mean, does it affect your physical condition, your fingers? Do you have to hold the shotgun a different way? Does it affect your performance?
Well, I mean, if it does get cold, you have sometimes, you know, some difficulty getting your face or making sure your face is all the way down because, you know, the coldness does kind of numb things a bit. But overall, I mean, the biggest thing is the layering, putting on heavy clothes, you know, trying to layer up and stay warm enough, but still able to move and get the gun up and hit that target. We have a miss there.
Yeah, Rossetti just missed his second target on his second station. Miljev and Khan before him hit all 4 targets on their second station perfectly. So the previous 2 are on a score of 7.
And from a shooter's perspective, Station 4, which is where they're at right now, this is one of the more easier targets for us in the doubles. I mean, this is what we've been shooting all day in the rounds. So we kind of look at these as the give-me birds. So to miss one there is very rare.
Right.
But it does happen, as we see again.
Yeah, so Tepli of Russia has just missed his first target of the competition. It was the same target that Rossetti just missed before him.
Now, as the shooters move along here, they're on 4. As they get to 5, you're going to see the pressure build.
Yeah.
Within the competitor, you know, that pressure is where they have to really kind of pull it together and try to keep themselves calm and not let it get the better of them. And, you know, we'll see more mistakes as the time goes on.
Hancock 2 out of 2 from this station so far. And that makes 4 out of 4. He needed that. That was a good comeback after the first station where the American missed 2. So Hancock is now on 6 points, joint with Rossetti. Now Mahelba of Egypt, who we can see on screen, has a chance to take the lead in the final. If he hits the next 2, he will do just that.
He's definitely feeling the pressure at this moment. A lot of the athletes, whether they like to admit it or not, know exactly where they stand when they're out there.
Yeah.
He's handling it very well.
He is handling it well, and the Egyptian takes the lead in the final now by 1 clear point. So he's on 8, followed by 3 shooters. Khan of India, Miljev of Ukraine, and Tepli of Russia in joint second, 1 point behind Mahelba. Now, Kim, it's a well-known fact, you are the only sportswoman on the planet who has medaled at 6 consecutive Olympic Games. How was your experience this summer?
I tell you, way to put the pressure on me. No,
You've already done it.
It's incredible. You know, it was very humbling, but very amazing, because I had a very tough 3 years to get to this last Olympics, and I think that's really what the Olympics represent, that journey, overcoming the obstacles when people say you can't, and you know, just going for it again and again, and I'm very thankful, and hopefully we can make it a 7th.
You say humble, and I remember your reaction after winning that final. It seemed like that you were happy to make the semi-final and consequently the medal matches, whether you ended 3rd or 4th, but you seemed maybe not surprised, but it seemed a bit surreal to you at the time. Did it feel like that?
Well, I think the Olympics bring a life of its own when you're out there, and definitely just to make the Olympics is humbling, and to be in the medal match and everything. I mean, everyone is good. I never take any moment for granted, I guess, and I guess that just kind of helps me stay at the level and prepared for the next competition. I never take it for granted, and it was incredible. I will say that I couldn't do it the easy way. I had to make it a little bit challenging for myself, and I think I lost 5 years of my life in those last few doubles that I shot against, you know, the Chinese, and but I wouldn't trade it for anything. I think that's what has me coming back again and again. Yeah.
And just as we said yesterday, really good to know that there's no sign of you stopping yet. You are going for your 7th Olympics in Tokyo, which is amazing.
But I think that's one of the great things about these sports, especially the shooting sports, is the fact that we can do it for a very long time. We have that longevity. And you see, you know, some of these competitors out here competing today that competed back in Sydney.
You're right.
That are back here again, and that's one of the great things about the sport. And you can see the coaches, I think they're more nervous than we are sometimes out there.
Well, Rossetti, who we just saw on screen, he's only 21 years old. He's already the Olympic champion, and the 48-year-old you talk about, the oldest guy on the range at the moment, is Nikola Milchev, who was the Olympic champion in Sydney. So young guys against the most experienced, all competing in the same final.
I think that's what makes it so interesting and so unique in that sense. And also very fascinating to watch.
Well, in the final, Milchev, Khan, Tepley and Rossetti, the 4 shooters so far, have all hit this reverse station perfectly. They've smashed all 4 clays so far. And this is the one that people will tell you is difficult, but they're handling it well. And Hancock hits cleanly as well. That's 8 in a row for him. Really good comeback after those 2 misses on the first station. So he's, it's joint 4th place, but just behind the joint 1st place, which is held by 3 shooters at the moment. This is going very well for the Egyptian. Hits the next 2, and once again will take a 1-point advantage going into the last station. 10 out of 10 so far. Is 12 out of 12.
So 3 stations down.
That's very good for him.
Very consistently here.
And Kim, what was the attention like when you returned home after the Olympics, making history? What was the attention like on you there, and how did people receive you?
It was very nice. I had a very nice homecoming. I had some flags up around my house, and just people really kind of came out of the woods and came together. It was fantastic.
So we're just about to move on to the last station in this semi-final. It's the Egyptian Azmi Mehelba, who is in the lead, 12 points, all 12 clays hit so far perfectly. And what you were saying about about young guys and old guys shooting on the range at the same time. Anyone can really do it, no matter what your age, no matter what your physical ability as well. It's all down to hard work, and we want to emphasize the positivity that shooting sport creates around the world, don't we?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, shooting, a lot of these guys, shooting has been passed down generationally from father to son or mother to daughter in my case, or with my father as well. I mean, it's very family oriented, and that's one of the great things about the sport, and very well received around the world, and will continue to be so, I think.
In the years that you've been competing, what have you felt have been some of the changes, apart from some of the rule changes in our sport, of course, but from a presentation perspective and from the interest that people have in our sport? Does anything come to mind?
Well, there's always been changes in our sport. Back when I started, I competed in international doubles trap, and then was eliminated for women and moved to international skeet at that point. There's always changes, even in the finals and how we shoot it. But that just kind of goes with the territory and with a lot of the competitors just really showing their athleticism and being able to change and adapt. Oh, we have a Dutch pair there.
Ooh, that might cost the home shooter, Rossetti. Both Milchev and Khan before him shot all 4 on this station, but the Italian finishes that semi-final with 12. Yeah, that might be costly for him. But again, going back to this school trip that we saw, this is great that kids are coming to watch, because they'll be inspired by what they're seeing today, and this is important moving forward, and to let people know that anyone can come and enjoy shooting sport.
And also, too, I think from my standpoint, just passing on the knowledge. And, we do a lot of coaching in between when we're not out here competing, and just a lot of speeches and educational type stuff to pass on that knowledge. And you see a lot of these different competitors doing much the same. I know that while we're here, we're going to go by a children's hospital and share our medals and talk and try to uplift some children. So a lot of really wonderful things going on.
Great. Well, if Hancock hits the next 2, we believe he'll be in the bronze medal match, or at least with a shout of it. Milchev, Khan and Tepli finished the semi-final on 15. Hancock is confirmed there to finish on 14, and it really was that first station which prevented him from having the perfect semi-final. But he's still in with a chance of going home with something here. Mahelba is shooting now. He's just missed his first target of the competition, and that might mean, well, that could be costly for Hancock, in fact, because if Mahelba hits his next 2, then we know which 4 athletes will go into medal matches, and he does. So he finishes on 15, so there's going to be a 4-way shoot-off. Well, that's the end of the semi-final then. It means that the current Olympic champion, the home shooter, Gabriele Rossetti, finishes in 6th place today. A little bit of disappointment for the gathered spectators. Vincent Hancock, the 2-time Olympic champion, finishes it in 5th today with 14 points.
5th place today, representing the United States of America, Vincent Hancock.
And there'll be a 4-way shoot-off between Milchev, Khan, Tepli and Mahelba to decide which 2 go into the gold medal match and which 2 go into the bronze medal match. Vincent told us yesterday he's going to take a break for the next season. He doesn't go home with a medal today, but he seemed to he missed out on the historic 3rd consecutive Olympic title this summer, but he took it well. He seemed to recover well, and he was very humble about it.
Well, I think it's like every athlete, we don't win them all. It's how fast and how quick you make your recovery, and I think you're definitely seeing that with Vinny. And also, too, he's just such a sweet guy, and has such an incredible family with Rebecca and the 2 girls. So I think there's going to be a lot of great vacations and things that I know that he has planned with his girls, and a lot of other really wonderful things. So, we'll see him back, I think, ready and becoming an even more serious competitor than he already is for the next Olympics. I think because he definitely has that hunger back.
Sure. just about to start the shoot-off, and the shooters will hit 2 targets in a row as opposed to 4 like they just did in the semi-final. They'll hit 2 at a time, one after the other. So the 2 highest scorers will compete in a gold medal match, the 2 lowest scorers will compete in a bronze medal match.
One thing I find interesting in watching the doubles and watching people compete is they all have a very similar timing. You'll hear that boom, 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 boom. And no matter who or what style they have a very similar timing in between their doubles. And I find that so fascinating. You hear that boom, boom.
Yeah.
There is like a rhythm within the squad and also a rhythm within the targets that we're hopefully striving for.
Well, perfect shooting from all of the athletes so far. 2 out of 2. So the second round of the shoot-off begins, and Milchev is back here.
This will be the deciding one, I think.
That's the reverse now.
The reverse pair here is the more challenging target. It seemed for through the first pass, and I think it will be the same through this. I hope I'm wrong.
Good so far from the Ukrainian and the Indian. The Russian is up next. Nikolay Teply, who's 29 years old.
I know that in my competing, people always ask, do you want to go first or do you want to go last?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's almost in some ways better to go first because, you know, you don't have all the pressure that the guys have at the end, knowing that they have to hit this. Oh, there we go. 1 miss.
Oh, that's costly for Mahel, but that means he'll go into the bronze medal match. And after shooting so well in the semi-final, he looked like he was a certainty for the gold medal match, but it was that last station where he missed 1 which changed it for him.
That really just goes to show, I mean, these guys are all so fantastic. I mean, it's really anybody's day. It's really, truly incredible when you're standing out there competing against one another. But
yeah. It's interesting you saying to us, Kim, that you would like to shoot first, because Vincent said the exact opposite. He wants to know what his competitors have done and shoot second.
Well, you know, I mean, I just find that if you're first, then you get up there, you go for it, and you don't really get the opportunity to see the targets or what's happening to them. So you're kind of shooting a little bit blind, but at the same time, you don't have all that pressure. So the guys towards the end, they get to see the targets, but they have a lot more pressure to hit the target. For me, it doesn't matter either way, first, last, in the middle, I don't really care, but that is definitely a difference if you're standing out there to just know.
Milchev and Khan are 6 out of 6 so far. Here's Teply, who...
Ooh, he's protesting a target.
Yeah. It's given as a miss, but he did hold up his right hand. And we're not quite sure if the shoot-off is over. I think it is. Well, it looks like Teply was given the target which was initially missed, so the shoot-off carries on because Teply has been awarded a score of 6. So
somebody must have saw a piece on it or something.
So we continue. Milchev 8, Khan 8, and it's up to Teply to match that to stay in contention for the gold medal match. Well, he gets them as well. So it's 8 for all 3 of the shooters in the shoot-off. The only thing that's confirmed so far is that Azmi Mehelba will compete in the bronze medal match.
This has got to be tough for the coaches to watch.
Yeah. But they've done all they can, so it's up to the shooters now. And they're handling it well. Clean, 10 out of 10. This is heading towards pretty much another semi-final the way this shoot-off is going. 40-year-old Mairaj Ahmed Khan of India. He won silver at the test event in Rio this year. And that was the second time he ever made a semi-final, and it is his best ever career finish. He's got a chance to top that with this shoot-off so far. They're all doing really well. 10 out of 10 now for all three shooters, so it continues until the tie is broken. And just back on Khan of India, this is actually the first time he competes in a World Cup final because of the silver medal that he won earlier this year. Here he is. He
missed that.
He did. It looks like, yeah, he missed one. He missed one, so he'll be in the bronze medal match with Azmi Mehalba. And that's confirmed now because Nikolay Teply has just shot 12 out of 12. He survived that initial target, which we thought he might have missed, but it's 12 out of 12 for Milchev and Teply, so it's they who will compete in the gold medal match, and it will be Azmi Mehalba of Egypt versus Mairaj Ahmed Khan of India in the bronze medal match, and it will be the bronze medal match that takes place first. As you just saw on screen, Teply looked really happy to enter that gold medal match, didn't he?
He did. He very much so did. And who wouldn't be?
It was his first career gold medal that he won in Baku earlier this year. Again, this is going to be a very difficult question to ask, but of all the extraordinary achievements that you've made over your sports career, what are some of the highlights? I won't say give me one, maybe like a top three that stand out to you.
Well, I think you're first in anything. So obviously my first Olympics in '96, going at 16 years old, not really knowing what to expect, was incredible, and turning 17 5 days before my event. It was quite the birthday gift.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, each one is so unique and each journey is so different. As you go through life, things kind of change. It's been amazing. I know this last Olympics, I really didn't know what to expect, and you know, with everything that I had going on, and was just very happy and very humbled to have the outcome that I did.
I mean, an Olympic champion at 16 years old. That's right, in '96.
I turned 17 5 days, five days before. Yes, right. I was 17.
It's incredible, and you became the Olympic champion just after your 17th birthday.
Yes, and you know the funny thing is I didn't really know what to do with the medal after I had you know achieved it. I was like, where do I put it? In the sock drawer, in my back pocket of my blue jeans, and it ended up in my back pocket of my blue jeans. So you know, as a 17-year-old, you know, you have different perspectives. Now they're in a purse, in a case, and wrapped up. But at 17, you know, things are a little different.
That's amazing. And we must mention it was actually double trap that you won the gold in at the Atlanta Olympics.
Yes, my first 3 Olympics were in doubles trap, and my last 3 were in international skeet. However, I have shot all 3 events in the Olympics.
You
skeet,
have?
Trap and doubles trap.
Yeah, because in London you shot trap and skeet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing.
We're off to a good start on the bronze medal match here.
Yeah, it's Maharaj Ahmed Khan of India who's shooting first, and he's hit 2 out of 2 so far. And he missed his 4th target, just like we saw at the beginning of the semi-final.
That reverse pair is seeming to be kind of challenging for the guys today. No second target.
No. So Mahelba's going to have to shoot that first pair again and reset, as you were saying. Two of 2.
Missing the second target as well.
Exactly the same. He's starting to look a little bit irritated as well.
Well, I'll let you say that, but you know, I mean, it's tough when you're out there. I mean, you have to realize these guys are training very hard for these competitions and really giving it their all. And when you step out on that line, you kind of have to believe that you can win. And so when you do miss, it is very disappointing.
Yeah, these guys, well, actually, qualification day 1 was yesterday, so really this whole competition started yesterday, but as a day itself, these guys have been shooting since 9:30 this morning. And we do mention that as well. Really long days to keep the consistency, to handle the pressure for that long day, to have the stamina is incredibly skillful. Ahmed Khan shot perfectly on his second station there. 7 out of 8 now. Kim, going back to the Olympics where you shot double trap in your first 3 Olympics, why do you think that double trap doesn't exist as an Olympic discipline for women now?
Well, there's a lot of speculation, a lot of different reasons. You know, I'm not one to say my job is just to go out and shoot and have a good time and represent my country and bring home medals. So I can't really comment one way or the other. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but it is still available for the men, and we do have some fantastic competitors out there that are still competing in it. And I think there's going to be some changes that come with that sport as well in the very near future, but we'll just have to kind of wait and see what those are.
And that's a positive note to mention as well, because there were admittedly some months this year where some people speculated double trap wouldn't even exist after the Olympics, but it is confirmed to go into the next 4 years with some rule changes, just like the rest of shotgun. And that's a really positive note as well, considering some of the young talent that we're seeing through, like James Willett, who won gold yesterday.
Both of these guys have amazing tempo right now. You're hearing them very similar with their crushing of the targets. That timing is right on for both of them, which is really good to see. Yeah.
This is the reverse station here. It's station number 5 and their 3rd station. Mahelba just taking a deep breath before he shoots his second pair on this station. And
breaking that one a little faster than the others, so you notice the tempo kind of sped up there.
Yeah.
Must be seeing him really good.
It's 11 for both of the athletes so far.
Now, 1 station remains between these 2 gentlemen and the bronze medal. Let's see which can come out on top.
And it was only the last target on the first station that both have missed, so they're going to move back to station number 4, which is their 4th station. The order they'll have to hit the targets is high-low, low-high, once again.
Oh, missing a target there. And this is where you see the pressure really build on these athletes, knowing that it's all or nothing at this point. And I think it got the better of them there.
He hits the next 2, so Khan finishes on 14, and it's now up to the Egyptian. We saw he grits his teeth a little bit because it's out of his hands now. But Mahelba now has the chance to win a bronze medal. The gold medals he's tasted in his career have both been at African Championships in 2011 and 2014.
Very nice timing, spot on, and he's seeming very comfortable.
Yeah, hits the next two. Bronze is his.
There it is.
And he does. That's a nice end to the day for Azmi Mahelba, a bronze medal in a good year. He represented Egypt at the Olympic Games. He's now a two-time Olympian. He finished 11th, which is his best ever Olympic finish. And in the World Cup season, he made two finals this year, finishing 6th in Nicosia. He won silver in Baku, which, by the way, is his best ever ISSF medal. And he's just won bronze to close off his season. So congratulations to Azmi Mahelba. Really well done for that medal. And for Mairaj Ahmed Khan, a really encouraging year. He's an experienced shooter, 40 years old. He's been competing internationally for 10 years now. His first competition was at the Asian Games in Doha, Qatar, in 2006, and this 4th place here represents his second best ever finish. He won silver at the test event in Rio earlier this year, and that's his second best. Well, we're just about to commence with the gold medal match in the men's skeet event. It's going to be the experienced Mykola Milchev of Ukraine against the 29-year-old Russian Nikolay Teply. Teply won his first ever ISSF gold medal this year. That was gold at the World Cup in Baku. Here's the athletes being introduced once again, and you can see there that Mykola Milchev was the Olympic champion in Sydney.
So we have a lot of experience on his side. A lot of experience, and a lot of experience under that pressure.
Yeah, a lot of experience, and we were just saying that it's been a really good comeback here for this experienced Ukrainian, because his 4th place in Rio this summer represented the second time that he made the final of an Olympics, but 16 years after his first one.
Who knows what went on in those 16 years, but obviously something, and definitely he had the hunger and came back, and we're seeing it really come out and play out on this field.
Yeah, he has been in really good form this year. He won gold medal at the ISSF World Cup in Cyprus, which took place around about March time, so he was in good form going into the Olympics, and it was good to see him in the top 6 once again. So here he is. He's going to shoot first as the gold medal match gets underway.
A little slower on his timing on this, on that pair at least, and we'll see how he does on this reverse pair.
He does well. It's 4 from 4, so Teply knows what he has to do. He's hit 2 so far. And he's hit the next 2 as well. So both of the shooters end the first station perfectly. 4 from 4.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, you know, noticing Teply is definitely taking some breaths in between, trying to calm himself, and seems a little bit more nervous than Mykola.
Well, yeah, he's competing against an Olympic champion, but whatever happens, he's guaranteed to go home with a medal today, which will round off a good year. The point I was going to make him is more personal than the competition. We were talking about family earlier, and you as a sportswoman making a living from shooting sport, I mean, how hard is it to balance family life and doing what you do as a sportswoman?
Well, I think it's no different than anyone else having a job. I mean, we come home, we do laundry and clean house and do all that, but we happen to be very good at a sport that we are very passionate about. So thankfully we have a lot of sponsors and endorsements within our industry that help it make possible the fact that we can do both. And you You see that a lot with the other competitors who won the Olympics with me. Were all three moms, the two Italians,
Right.
Picozzi and Chinaro.
Yeah.
So it's very doable.
The match is going well so far for both athletes. Tepley just about to finish on his second station. He's going to try and even it up. He is breathing, isn't he? You can see it really visibly before each shot.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Him taking a couple extra breaths there, trying to keep himself calm and centered, and just trying to take it one pair at a time. And you can definitely note that he is second. He is definitely feeling the pressure that he has to hit these to stay in it with Mikola.
He's handling it really well. It's 8 from 8 so far for both of the athletes. And breathing and heart rate is something that we talk about a lot in rifle and pistol with those disciplines. And is it as important here?
Most definitely. I mean, you know, want to keep yourself calm. It's not as important as, say, rifle shooting, but it does play a part in keeping yourself calm out there on the match. But you see Mikola just missed there.
Yeah.
He was actually visualizing shooting the target prior to stepping up there, so even he is feeling the pressure. Ooh, missing a second target there.
Yeah. And that's on the reverse station. And that was both of the low targets that Mikola missed there. So Tepley can now take advantage, and he has to keep calm and control that breathing to take control of the match. He's even now.
I will say that having his competitor in front of him just miss two definitely takes some of that pressure off. He's obviously feeling much more comfortable out there.
Yeah.
As you can see him hitting both targets.
That's really good. He's in a commanding position now. Tepley, the Russian, is looking good for gold.
And he really fought through this final. You can hear him, you know, fighting for each and every target. And that one he raised his hand on. And you know, you see him out here very aggressive, trying to bring home that gold.
It's great. This here represents both of the athletes' first time in a World Cup final match, despite Milchev's achievements over the past couple of decades. He didn't previously make the semi-final of a World Cup final. His best finish was 9th, and that was 3 times since the year 2000.
Missing another bird there.
Yeah. It's firmly with the Russian now to close off this match and seal the gold. He only needs 2 more targets, and he can seal it with these very next 2.
And he does.
He does. So the gold is the Russians. He nods to himself as well.
He knows it, for sure.
He knows he's done the job, but he's going to want a clean record before he can really celebrate. So he's going to want to hit the next 2 anyway.
And
he does. Great shooting. And that rounds off a great year for the 29-year-old. 2 gold medals, the first ever gold medals that he's won in his career. The first was in Baku 4 months ago, and he ends the season to win gold. And not only the gold, but the Crystal Globe, as is awarded at the World Cup finals as well.
I love the winking and the number 1 holding up to the camera.
That's a really good year for him. It means that the Russian will also guarantee his spot at the World Cup final next year in New Delhi, India. And Milchev will be happy with the year that he's had, making a comeback at the Olympics for the first time in 16 years. He's now a 4-time Olympian. He's won 2 medals this year, gold in Nicosia a little bit earlier, and now he goes back to Ukraine with a silver medal. So that represents a great year for both of these athletes, young and a little bit older. There's the president of the ISSF congratulating the gold medal winner as well. Well, day 2 has concluded. There's 2 more days left of the Shotgun World Cup finals here in Rome. And Kim, it's been great to talk to you. Thank you very much for telling us about your life. We could talk to you for much, much longer. Great to get your insight into the final as well. And we appreciate your company. You do tell us that you're now working towards the next Olympic cycle, and you'll be around next year.
Of course, you'll see me around. I'm going to be going for Tokyo, so hopefully we'll make it 7 for 7. And if LA wins the bid in 2024, you'll see me for an 8th Olympics. Who knows?
Wow.
I'm not stopping anytime soon.
Well, congratulations on all of your extraordinary achievements on another great year, and we wish you the best of luck for the next few months and the years ahead.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for joining us on the ISSF YouTube channel and the live stream as well. We really appreciate your company. You can like, subscribe and share our photos and our videos, and we hope that you do in what has been a really, really memorable year for shooting sport. Thank you very much. We'll see you on day 3 of the ISSF World Cup final for shotgun on the 2016 season.
So here we go, let's do it again. Your bronze medalist representing Egypt, Azmi Mahelba. Your silver medalist representing the Ukraine, Mikola Milchev. And your gold medalist once more representing the Russian Federation, Nikolai Teply. The bronze medal representing Egypt goes to Azmi Mahelba. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you're able for the national anthem of the Russian Federation. Ladies and gentlemen, we congratulate the winners of the Skeet men's event. Just as a reminder, the winner, as well as his trophy and medal, will receive €1,200. Silver will receive €800, and bronze will receive €500. We have one final tomorrow, which is the Jack Women's event at 3 p.m. But once again, please put your hands together for the winners of the Skeet men's event.